Have you ever realized no one actually ruined your dreams? You just kept postponing them. Not once, not dramatically, but quietly, politely, comfortably. And that is how years disappear. This is not a story about obvious laziness. It is about capable adults who prepare endlessly and begin rarely. It is about knowing exactly what to do and still not doing it. If you have unfinished goals sitting somewhere in your mind, this may feel uncomfortably familiar. There was a man named Edward Clarke. He was 38, old enough to feel time moving faster, but young enough to still change his direction. He lived in a quiet town in the north of England. Brick houses, narrow streets, predictable routines. Edward had one defining trait. He was always getting ready. He wanted to launch his own consultancy. He wanted to get back into shape. He wanted to write the book he had outlined years ago. He wasn't reckless or irresponsible. He had a stable job in an office with gray walls and artificial light. He paid his bills on time. He was dependable. But when it came to his ambitions, he delayed. Every morning, his alarm rang at 6. Every morning, he negotiated. "I'll start next week," he'd whisper. "I need to feel more focused. Timing matters." He bought business books, he followed successful entrepreneurs, he filled notebooks with plans. It felt like movement, but nothing moved. Months passed, then years. Younger colleagues were promoted, friends took risks, some failed and recovered, some succeeded quietly. Edward remained in the same chair, not because he lacked intelligence, but because he lacked urgency. One evening, walking home past a small repair shop, he noticed an elderly man fixing an old clock. The ticking was uneven, slow, almost tired. Edward stood watching. Without lifting his eyes, the old man said, "A stopped clock is honest. A slow clock steals your life." Edward didn't respond, but the sentence followed him home. That night, he sat in silence. No television, no scrolling, just his thoughts. He imagined himself 10 years ahead. Same office, same excuses, less energy, more regret. That image frightened him more than failure ever had. The next morning, the alarm rang again. Nothing felt different. He still felt resistance. He still felt tired. But this time, he didn't debate. He stood up. He worked on his project for 40 minutes before work. It wasn't dramatic. It was uncomfortable, but it was real. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. There were mornings he failed and evenings he wanted comfort, but something shifted. He stopped identifying as a man with potential. He became a man who acts. Slowly, his confidence returned, not because he had achieved everything, but because he was no longer betraying his own plans. Years later, Edward was not famous, he was not extraordinary, but he had built something of his own. And more importantly, he trusted himself. He no longer feared the future because he was no longer stealing from it. Here is the truth. Most adults don't lose their dreams in a single dramatic failure. They lose them in quiet delay, in comfortable routines, in endless preparation, in not today. Time doesn't shout when it leaves. It slips away unnoticed. And one day you realize you were always preparing to begin, but never did. So here is the lesson. You don't need more inspiration. You need a decision. Because every day you postpone action, you're training yourself to postpone your life. And the most expensive habit in adulthood is delaying what you already know matters. The real tragedy is not that you failed, it's that you waited so long you forgot you were capable of starting.